Hi folks, my name's Carly and this is my false lash tutorial. It's going to show you how I apply my eye makeup and then use false lashes to recreate eyelashes. I actually don't have any of my own. I don't have eyebrows either, or indeed any hair. If you want to see my eyebrow tutorial or a scarf tying tutorial for the one I'm wearing right now, they are elsewhere on my channel. So this particular false lash tutorial is primarily intended for folks who don't have any hair or are perhaps losing their hair, who have alopecia like me or undergoing chemotherapy. As ever, if you're experiencing skin sensitivity because of those conditions or your treatment, go easy and please only use the products that feel right for you and your skin. So away we go. Let's do a false lash tutorial. Okay, so to start this false lash tutorial, as you can see, I have no eyelashes of my own. There are none there. And I have a very light wash of color on my eyes in the form of eyeshadow. You don't have to put eyeshadow under when you use false lashes. I just really like eyeshadow. If you don't have eyeshadow, I would recommend making sure that your lids are as dry and non-greasy as you possibly can. So I would recommend getting some translucent powder. I really like the ELF stuff, and just patting it gently on your eyelids as a really good clean base, because anything moisturized or greasy is just going to make your makeup and those false lashes just slide right off your face, and you don't want that. So I have this really simple wash of color, and let's talk about the false lashes that I love and I use every day. They are Ardell false lashes. Ardell are a drugstore brand here. I believe they're made of human hair. They're really good and they're affordable as well, which is really important in the early stages of getting the hang of using false lashes, because you're going to go through a lot of false lashes basically. So these are a type of Ardell lashes called Demi Wispies. They are my personal favorite because they're not too crazy and theatrical, but they're not too sparse looking. If you choose those really sparse looking lashes, when you apply them and then close your eyes, they're just not going to look full enough on your face. So trust me about that. There is a type of Ardell lash called Wispies. These are Demi Wispies, but Wispies are great, but they're slightly longer and they look a little bit faker. So having tried many, many times, I really recommend these Ardell lashes in Demi Wispies. So there's two things that make false lashes look even better on your face. And to be honest, even if you have your own lashes, these tips are great too. So number one, curl your false lashes. The big reason that people apply false lashes for the first time and then they just kind of like hang down into their face, it's because they haven't curled them. Like natural human lashes have a slight curl to them, so curling is really important. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So if you get your lashes, and so I used to use like an actual curling implement, like a tool to curl my false lashes. It was like a little pincer. It was really great. And then I lost it one day and started using my fingers, and I've never gone back. Like, using your fingers is cheaper. So when I talk about curling the lashes with your fingers, I literally just mean you are pinching the lashes. And let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm getting them like this, and I'm literally pinching them like that. You know, don't be too forceful, don't bend them right back, but just really pinch them. And the great thing about using using your fingers in all types of makeup is you have control. You know, you can build up, and so you can really get a nice kind of curl by just pinching. So I'm going to do that with the other strip, like that. There you go. So yeah, if you want to use a curler, just don't use, you know, those kind of medieval torture device looking curlers, the kind of classic curler ones with the kind of clamp. Yeah, I've tried them. It just doesn't work. Your lashes will just fly away. Just don't even bother. So you've got them there. And then you want to kind of set your curl exactly as you would do if you were like doing your hair or something. So just the easiest thing to do with that is just use hairspray. People are always really surprised when I have hairspray around the house. It's like, yeah, I still use it, just not what you think I use it for. So just spray your newly curled lashes a little bit. And so you're kind of setting them there. And so you're just going to leave them to dry. So that's the first thing that people don't do. They don't curl lashes. You gotta curl your lashes. And the second thing that people don't do, which makes a real difference, is they don't cut the lashes down, right? They don't. So this is your strip of lash, and it's quite long. So what I recommend doing for people is just kind of like putting it on your eye and then thinking, do I need to cut this down at all? And if you need to, go for it. I really recommend just getting a pair of scissors and just fairly gently trimming a little bit from the end. That will feel, especially if you're not used to wearing false lashes, that will feel a lot less unnatural on your face. And one thing I do recommend people do if they feel super uncomfortable with the idea of wearing false lashes is if you're starting out, just cut them in half. Just literally cut them in half and apply the outer bit, you know, the outer half to the outer part of your eyelid, and then buy another pair and cut a little bit less off, and then buy another pair and cut a little bit less off. And that's a way of kind of like graduating yourself towards wearing full strips. That's what I did when I was first learning how to wear false lashes, and that's what I really recommend doing. So my false lashes are dry, so I'm just going to leave them there, and I want to put them onto a base that looks natural on my eyelid. So I'm going to use liquid liner. I am totally obsessed with liquid liner. I love it. I have tried so many brands and types and nibs in my life, and this is my new favorite. It is from Kiko Milano. All of these details, product details, are in the video information below. Yeah, Kiko Milano, really like them. This is a waterproof one, which means that it won't budge during the day, which is great. Getting it off at the end of the day will be a different story. When you just want to get your makeup off and get into bed, then you'll be annoyed with its staying power. But during the day, it doesn't budge, it doesn't smudge. I love it. And again, this isn't like a luxury product. This is really affordable. I used to be really wedded to Rimmel's Exaggerate liquid liner, and I still think that's great. And it's a close second, but this one, Kiko Milano, is the best. So there's a lot of like mythology around how difficult liquid liner is. I do it every day, often with a really bad mirror. And I don't think it's difficult. And I think it's like anything, with a little bit of practice, you can learn really quickly. So this is how I do my liquid liner. Number one, I'm going to get that translucent powder again, and I'm going to just put some on my fingertips. And the reason I do this is so I don't smudge the makeup I already have on. I'm not dragging it away. This, by the way, is a really good tip for if you like doing other people's makeup. Put your hand into some translucent powder so that when you're resting it against their cheek, when you're doing their makeup, you're not going to drag all of the makeup that they've already got on their face off their face. Just a little tip. So if you get this, and obviously with liquid liners, there are many different types of nibs and pens. I really like this thin nib. I don't like too thin a nib. Just saying, it's personal preference. So let me show you what I do. I'm going to get in close. So I place my finger there and I kind of drag my skin a little bit, not too much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the inner corner of the eye and then draw the upper border of the liner, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, start in the corner of the eye, drag my nib, and go to the outside. There you go. I'm going to do it again to even up that line, and that's what I mean. So the second step is going down and joining them up. And then you can guess what we're going to do here. We are just going to fill in the blanks, like this. And that's literally it. You can make it as thin or as thick as you want. I recommend when people are starting out with false lashes, make it quite thick, because then you can place the lash quite far away from your own eye, so it's not going to irritate it. One thing about liquid liner is obviously it does get everywhere, and you can see a little bit has got into my eye there, and that's no worries. We're just going to take it away. Q-tips are amazing. I love them. I go through thousands a year. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to touch my skin, very gently drag it, and then start from the inside corner and draw the upper border. And so there's a lot of nonsense, I think, talked about, like how you have to do it in like one swoop, otherwise it won't look good. And I think that's silly, because what I do is I go back and forth. Watch this. So I'm going back, and then I'm going to go forward. Like that. And then I'm going to draw that bit underneath, flick it out, and then fill in the blanks. It's like colouring in. And you can go back and neaten it up, like that. If you make a mess of it, or if you blink and you kind of splodge it into the crease of your eye, don't worry, just get a Q-tip and just take it away. One thing, a lot of people feel insecure about wearing a liquid liner because it looks so kind of theatrical, and if that is a concern of yours, I like looking theatrical, like who cares? But if you don't want to look theatrical, if you want to kind of keep it more natural, one tip I really like is, I don't know why this works, but it does. So I take a wet Q-tip, and again, like I know I shouldn't lick it, but sorry, I do. And just remove, like put the Q-tip in the corner of your lid, and just remove a little bit from the underneath, like a little bit. And for some reason, that gets it looking a lot less like big and theatrical. There you go. So that's your liquid liner, and you're putting that on because that is the base that you are going to attach your false lashes to. And so I've got my false lashes here. I curled them, I cut them if I wanted to, and I've let them dry. And now, of course, I need my glue. So this is my preferred glue. It's Duo. This is the dark colored one. You'll see because it's the pink packaging. You can also get clear and I believe kind of organic ones, hypoallergenic. It's personal preference. I really like the dark one. So take your strip of lash like that, and then get a little bit of your glue, and then you're gonna very gently just put a little strip of glue, just brush some glue onto that lash strip like that. Can you see? Yeah. And I'll do it with the other one here. And then I put that one down because you want it to dry. You want it to dry just enough to get nice and tacky. There you go. Like that. Because another thing that frustrates people with false lashes is when they put the glue on and then they stick them on their face straight away. And then they're like, why did they fall off? It's because the glue did not dry enough to get tacky. Because if you let it get tacky, it's going to have so much of a better chance of clinging to your face, basically. So you can also speed this process up a little bit by blowing on it. And so what you want to do there, I'll lean in so you can see. You then just want to put the lash strip in place and hold it and pat it and push it in. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So hold it in place as close to your eye as you want or as far away. Remember, a thicker line helps with that. And then just push and pat like that. Really push it into the lid, because that's the thing that's going to make it secure and not fall off. And look there, so that's one of the places that people often feel false lashes. They're like, oh, I can feel it jabbing in. And if you're like that, if it's distracting you, if you can feel it all day, take those scissors and just cut that bit out, obviously before you put it on your face. Make the lash strip smaller so you're not having to deal with that feeling. Okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put it here. Gonna push it in place, then just very gently work my way along my lid like this. Push it in like that. Just push, push, push. Don't try and do this one-handed. I did that on a recent trip to New York, and my lashes kept falling off every day, and I was like, oh, it must be the cold. This is strange. It must be because New York is cold. And then I realized it was because the Airbnb I was staying at did not have a mirror that I could sit at and do my lashes. So I was trying to do them with like a handheld compact mirror and do them one-handed. And I wasn't doing this like pushing work. I wasn't securing them every morning. So of course, after a couple of hours, they were just falling off my face. So learn from my mistakes. So there you go. And there's one last step I love to do, which is drawing on a few like lashes underneath, on below, with a little pen. And this is the pen I use, and it's called Dolly Wink. It's a eyeliner pen. It's actually the pen I use to do my eyebrows. And so if you go and watch that tutorial, you'll see that in action. But I also use it to create little false lashes underneath. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pen, I'm going to literally draw them on like that with little feathered strokes. Remember, it's always so much easier to build up rather than take away, so just start small like that. What I also like to do is do a connecting line here like that. There you go. And so I'm going to do them on the other side, like that. There you go. And I'm going to draw that line there. Cool. And so what I always like to do to finish things off is put a little dab of iridescent powder. I think this one's from Bare Minerals or something. And put that in the corner of my eye, just to kind of open it up. And remember, because Q-tips are your friend, you can always take a Q-tip with a little bit of black or brown eyeshadow on and just use it to kind of smudge things below, just to get it looking even more natural, or darker if you should want. And there you go. That's how I put on my false lashes and apply liquid liner underneath, and also put little false hair strokes on my lower lids as well to do this whole look. I hope you found it helpful. Learning how to do false lashes was one of the things that made me happiest after I first lost my hair. I've learned how to do my eyebrows very quickly. I never quite got the hang of false lashes. It kind of took me a couple of years, and the minute I got it, I just felt so much more like myself again in the mirror. So if that's the stage you're at too, I really hope this tutorial was helpful to you. All the products that I've used and all my comments will be in the video information. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this, or if you'd like to see any other type of tutorials, please leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel so that you can see all my videos, and visit the website too. So thank you very much.